Hey everyone, Brandon and Kyle back again at the Kabuki Strength Studio today, and today we're going to be talking about breathing drills. Now, if you've been following us for any length of time, or if you've ever worked with one of our coaches, or if you've ever been to one of our seminars, you know that we place a huge importance on breathing and breathing effectively. Breathing effectively is one of those things that's going to set a foundation for the rest of your body to function properly off of. If you have restricted or short or impaired breathing patterns, you're going to see that manifested across your entire body in all movements. So there's a few different things that we can do to improve your breathing, but anything that we do usually works best if we have some form of tactile cueing. Tactile cueing is if I go and touch you or press into you. Now, breathing drills are really effective, especially if you have a partner that can put a couple thumbs into your lower back or press a couple thumbs into your obliques or put a plate on your lower back. But not everyone has a training partner or someone that they can use for that situation. So we're going to show you a drill today that you can use by yourself to have very, very effective tactile feedback for your actual breathing. Anytime we talk breathing as well, it's really important to understand that we're not just talking about belly breathing. We're talking about full diaphragmatic breathing, and full diaphragmatic breathing means moving your diaphragm fully. So when we breathe in, our lungs expand and our diaphragm contracts. When the diaphragm contracts, it presses down. This is the foundation for intra-abdominal pressure. One of the hardest things for individuals to learn is how to expand their lower back. Everybody can push their stomach out, and it's pretty easy to just extend your stomach into a weightlifting belt, but it's very difficult to extend your back into that same belt and create 360 degrees of pressure. So if you don't have someone that can come and just put their thumbs in your back in different positions, we came up with a really, really effective drill to be able to do that on your own. Kyle's going to set this up with a very heavy band. I don't know, can you approximate the tension on that, Kyle? A lot.
Pounds, yeah.
I would say they don't make black bands that are light. This is a pretty heavy band. Kyle's going to loop it around his lower back, and let's just show it on the low back here, Kyle. It's approximated just above the pelvis and below the rib cage. So we don't want this riding right on the pelvis. We want it kind of right in between the pelvis and rib cage, or exactly opposite of your belly button on the other side. It's going to set it up in like this Sphinx type position, and we're going to put a lot of tension through the hands and press into the ground hard. In this drill, it's very important that we have a neutral spine. If you find yourself rounding in this drill and kind of getting owned by the band, you're going to end up breathing into your chest and into your upper back, and that's not what we're after. So this band is trying to force Kyle into an anterior pelvic tilt. Because there's so much pressure here, the anticipation of the band is to pull him into extension. So he's avoiding that extension by actually breathing into the band. So he's really using his air to press into the band out. And if we get a close-up on this band, you're actually going to be able to see it move and expand. That's happening through Kyle's breathing. When Kyle does this, he should not be rounding his back to do it. It's going to be very easy just to round your spine into the band. We want only expansion happening this way through the band, through normal breathing. And I think the most effective way to do this drill is in clusters of maybe 3 to 5 breaths. We are taking in as much air into that area as possible, holding it for a 2 to 5 count somewhere in there, and then slowly letting it out while maintaining position. This would be a very effective drill to do prior to training, or if you're stuck at home and not able to train right now, you should be doing this a few times a day to get really, really good at it. Anything to add there, Coach Kyle?
On that same note, if you don't have access to this big of a band, just take your smaller band and double it up or triple it up. I really like this this drill. We find that a lot of people, like Brandon said, when they're just sticking their belly out and breathing this way, they come into extension with their back. This is already going to try to pull me into an anterior tilt, so I have to fight against that tilt, maintain that stacked position as I work that 360 expansion.
Fix your breathing, fix your bracing. Brandon and Kyle out.